Hi everybody and welcome back to the KK Zone. As always, I am Kara Kaufman, your host, and I come to you on Thursday evening right after the end of the Yankees-Orioles series. And once again, it's all about sequencing. If I had talked to you last night, I would have been ecstatic. The Yankees looked like the Yankees are supposed to look, I would have said. But coming to you today, I say, that was a very unsatisfying, disappointing game. So, as you can probably gather from that, the Yankees went 1-1 in the last two games of this four-game set. So overall, they split four games with the Orioles 2-2. And I will recap the games for you momentarily, but just to lead off here by saying that it's still early. There are still positive signs here, but if you're going to start winning some games, winning them against the Orioles is probably a pretty good way to do them. Sorry, no shade Orioles fans, but that team is not really trying to compete this year, and those are the series you've got to win. You know, it's hard to win 3 out of 4, I said that, but against the Orioles, you oughta. And similarly, we're playing the Tigers next, and I hope they can go in and play like the team they're supposed to be, the Yankees that is, and beat the team that, as we will learn from the episode I'm going to drop tomorrow about previewing the Tigers, they're fun in a lot of ways, but they're not good. So these are teams the Yankees have to go in and win those games against. But anyway, why don't we go ahead, recap these two games, and see what happened. Alright, I'm going to give myself 3 minutes to get through these two games and try to just give you the peaks and valleys of how we're all feeling as they went through them. Alright, let's do that. Ready, set, go. Starting with Wednesday night Yankees take on the Orioles, it is Domingo Germán trying to make a better start than his inconsistent couple to start the year, and he did. Domingo Germán went 7 scoreless innings. That is the headline in this game, y'all. It was 7 scoreless innings, and it wasn't from Garrett Cole. So Domingo Germán gives the second best start of the year, the best start in the non-Cole category. That was excellent to see from him. He really had his command and control, because as David Cole loves to say, occasionally he will get really good at throwing strikes, but they're not quality strikes, and they get hammered. Didn't happen last night. You love to see that. Then the offense, it came alive. Gleyber Torres had a much-needed RBI, and then Gio Urshela had a huge 3-run home run to break open the game. That was awesome. We also had a Clint Frazier homer, which, if anyone needed to get going, poor Clint Frazier. He's been walking a little more lately, hitting balls hard lately, but finally he hit one hard that actually went out. It went for a hit. It went for an RBI. Yes to Clint. I also just have to say in this game, Kyle Higashioka, who was catching, made one of the most incredible catches I've seen a catcher make recently. He caught a foul ball, and first of all, he popped up, he sprinted for it, and it was right near the brick wall in Camden, and he made a sliding catch, just perfectly positioned and perfectly timed to make the catch and not hurt himself. So, Higgy for the win. One more note here, which is I feel terrible for Mike King. Mike King has not allowed a run. He has been excellent, and every single time that he provides excellent bullpen work for the Yankees, he gets sent down the next day. Happened again. 2 scoreless innings following Germán to finish the game, and bye, have fun at the alternate site. I know it's the way it works. He'll be back. I wish you could reward him by having him stay on the roster. He deserves it. Well done, King. Alright, so that was a very satisfying 7-0 win over the Orioles. You love to see it. Yankees were Yankeeing. And then today, on Thursday, the Yankees were Yankeeing in the ways that we don't expect the Yankees to Yankee, which is to say, they lost. They lost 4-3. It was a very low-scoring game against a not very good pitcher on the Orioles side. On the Yankee side, Jordan Montgomery did not have it early, but he did, as has become his wont, power through. He found a way to get it going, and he ended up only allowing 1 run in his 5 innings of work, which is good. Unfortunately, the Yankees only managed to score 2 runs in the early innings, which is not ideal, and guess who it was? Rougned Odor, Mr. Clutch. He doesn't hit often, but he hits them at the right times. Anyway, the end of this story is that the Yankees were losing 2-3 going into the top of the 9th, and Gleyber Torres came through big with the game-tying RBI. Yankees got super unlucky because there was a double that bounced over the wall. Had it not bounced over the wall, it would have been the go-ahead RBI, and Chapman, who looked stunning in the bottom of the 9th, likely would have saved the game for a win. And then the second thing that happened was Gio Urshela lined a ball. Absolute hot shot that got caught that also scored runs. That's the end. I'm out of time. But ultimately, in conclusion, the Yankees ended up going into 10th and losing their Wabadoo. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was big bopping on Wednesday and no bopping on Thursday. But I will say, Gleyber Torres having that timely hit was excellent. And Gio Urshela, if that ball were a foot or two either way, would have, driven in the go-ahead run or runs. and it might have been a very different ball game. So 2 unlucky breaks for the Yankees late in the 9th inning. And then here's the kicker. That runner on second rule in extras is not kind to a team built like the Yankees, because they are just not built for small ball. And that is what it is. And often in extra innings, a big homer wins it, but with a man already on second base, it just becomes an easy way to push across 1 run. So as a visiting team, the Yankees had Tyler Wade leading off, which is not ideal. He'd had to come in for defense earlier on, and he tried to bunt and did not succeed. So that sucks. If you're going to do that, you better have a guy who can actually bunt. Also, can Tyler Wade bunt? Because he ought to be able to bunt. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was a bad day at the office, but like that's a key situation right there. Not advancing the runner, not being able to let him score. And then Jonathan Loaizaga, also amazing again, except that like the Orioles won without scoring. They won without having a hit, because their man on second was bunted over successfully and then a sac fly. End of the game. And Loaizaga was striking out a lot of guys, so I think the hope was that he would do that. Unfortunately, didn't pan out that way, so a bunt and a sac fly and game over. Anticlimactic, disappointing. But I guess Yankees, if you want to avoid that situation, just score more earlier in the game. Might have been helpful in this case. Yeah, I mean, it's not what you want. The other thing I will say is that Judge didn't play in either of these games. He's out with some soreness in his lower body, which it's been pretty vague. This tweet here from Brandon Cuddy, I think about sums it up. Yeah, I mean, I would much rather err on the side of caution right now and rest him a couple days so that every once in a while so that he can stay moderately healthy and play the whole year. I think there's a lot of doubt now about whenever anyone says an injury is not severe, we don't believe them because we've been burned that way in the past. However, I will say this. Late in this game, in the 8th inning with a chance to actually score some runs and take a lead, Aaron Judge did pinch hit with in that inning. So that means to me that Boom was okay enough with how he felt to use him. So that's encouraging. Unfortunately, Judge struck out while pinch hitting, but you know, it was the right move. It just didn't work out. Frustrating. So the Yankees end up tying this series 2-2. It is what it is. You don't love it. Time has come, though, to stop treading water, because it feels like every time they take a step forward, they don't take 2 steps back. They're not regressing, but certainly they're just kind of like polka-ing in place. There's like the Les Mis walk right now in the standings, where they're like, we're walking, looks like we're walking, but actually we're just walking in place. It's not what you want from a baseball team, unless they are just doing a baseball team production of Les Mis, which we can parse that a different day. So I think that's pretty much all my thoughts on this end of the series. The Yankees can play the Orioles a lot more, and I hope they can take better advantage of the fact that the Orioles are truly not very good. Like I said, we got Tigers coming up, so hopefully similarly we can key in on some less formidable teams and get some wins. Come on, let's do it. There is one other thing that I absolutely must mention because it is the best thing that happened this week, hands down, no contest, and it is Anthony Rizzo of the Chicago Cubs. Delightful human by all accounts and really good baseball player, fun guy to watch. So, yesterday the Cubs got blown out big time, and I'm sorry, Cubs fans, it hasn't been easy for them this season either. Now, they got blown out so badly they had to have multiple position players pitch, which is, that's a rough one. But one of those players was first baseman Anthony Rizzo, and he had to face reigning NL MVP Freddie Freeman. So what did he do? He struck him out. I mean, he got Rizzo up there just like chucking in like 70, 80 mile an hour pitches, which is not bad for a position player, mind you. And Freeman went after one and swung through it for strike 3. And Anthony Rizzo was both shocked and delighted. And Freddie Freeman, to his great credit, just could not stop laughing. What a delight. Rizzo actually, here's a tweet. Rizzo said that he was going to keep the ball he had signed by Freddie, which, yes, you should. That's a milestone in your career. First career strikeout. That is meaningful. And against quality opposition, too. Good job, Riz. But wait, there's more, which is that earlier, I think it was last week, in a different series between the Braves and the Cubs, Freddie Freeman was caught in a rundown between bases, and Rizzo had stepped in to join. And as he is running towards Freeman, who's clearly going to be out here, he just screams, "Frederick!" as though he were Freddie Freeman's mom and Freddie was late to dinner. That was how it sounded, and because Rizzo was mic'd up for this game, it was extremely clearly caught, and it was a delight. You could see them both trying so hard to keep it together as they played the game. They were both laughing. So these two have a clear, delightful friendship going on that I'm loving watching. And it's just rooted in the fact that baseball is fun. We gotta remember that. And that moments like that really help me remember that baseball is so freaking fun. Thank you, Anthony Rizzo and Freddie Freeman, for my favorite moment of this week. I will end with another happy bit of Yankees news, which we love, and that's going to be a positive update on the Whiteboard of Doom. Well, this is exciting. The other day I told you that Luke Voigt and Miguel Andujar had both reported to the alternate site, which was great news in and of itself. But it turns out it's actually better than I thought. Miguel Andujar isn't just there on a rehab assignment. No, friends, he has been reinstated from the injured list. Yes! So that means we can go right ahead and erase Miggy from this whiteboard. Congratulations, Miggy. So he is officially optioned to the alternate site, meaning he's playing in what amounts to the minor leagues right now. But it means he is a legitimate call-up option as soon as he finishes getting his timing back and seems like he can actually contribute, which I hope is soon because I think he'd be an upgrade and I love some Miggy. So hopefully we'll see him before too long. Yay! Yes, Miggy! Now, it seems like the Yankees will go to all lengths to avoid using him. I mean, we have Rougned Odor batting cleanup and Miguel Andujar is in the minors. Questionable. That being said, he probably does need a little bit of time to get his swing back in working order, but gosh, seems like a good time to see him. That would be great. So hoping he really starts clicking at the alternate site and forces the Yankees' hand, because I would love to see Miguel Andujar back up with the team. What a good guy. What a delight. Glad his wrist is feeling better, and hopefully that does not recur, and he continues to progress and force his case to be up in the bigs. So, before we go, it is haiku time. And the haikus are a little up and down, much as this week was a little up and down. It's one of those you win some, you lose some situations, except that in this particular scenario you should have won more and lost fewer. But you know what? We take what we get, and we haiku about it. So without further ado, Wednesdays. Herman hit his spots. The offense hit the ball hard. This game was a hit. Heh. See what I did there? Hits? Yeah. But really, it was an amazing game. It felt like a classic Yankees TM game. The thing I hope we get more of going forward. Thank you. And then today's game was, I was less enamored. What I came up with was, frustrating one, this. If I only had a bunt. Or a lucky bounce. Yeah, I couldn't really get past that ninth inning where it really felt like the Yankees had it won. Everything seemed as though it was going to happen, and then it just didn't. So, hey, maybe we're using up all our bad baseball luck now so that in the rest of the season, the ball starts bouncing in our favor. I don't know, if you believe in things balancing out, there's a way to go optimistic. In any case, the Orioles are in the rearview mirror for the time being, and up ahead we have the Tigers coming into town for a 3-game set. It's exciting. We'll see what happens. I will have more on that tomorrow. I talked to a Tigers fan, and I think you're going to really enjoy hearing what he had to say. A lot of fun things about this team. But the good news for the Yankees is it's a team the Yankees should beat. I mean, they did that this week with a team they should beat, but they have a chance to do it again with another team that is delightful but rebuilding. So let's hope that they take care of business there. All right, to wrap us up today, I hand it over to the Bard. This from William Shakespeare's Hamlet. We know what we are, but know not what we may be. This feels accurate for the Yankees. It kind of feels like we do know what this team is right now, which is sort of a great accumulation of players who are all somehow struggling. I'm going to take this moment to say that I forgot to acknowledge Giancarlo Stanton had back-to-back 3-hit games. That's good. So anyway, point being, we know what's happening right now, but we have still not quite a clear idea of what these parts could eventually aspire to be. I mean, I think we all have a dream of what that could be, but there's so much more possibility to come from this group, and I am choosing, instead of being depressed about losing the Orioles today, to be excited to watch the team gel and go on a real run and win some games. Hey, Yankees, let's start that tomorrow against the Tigers. Cool? Cool. I'll see you then. But until that time, as ever, go Yanks.